thing is menstruation.
It's huge amounts of human vibrations. Religion versus spirituality. I mean, sex sells, right?
And turns you into peanut butter. So it's 1632, and this extraordinary guy, Galileo Galilei, is looking up at the stars. Now, you might have heard of Galileo, as Einstein called him the father of modern science, but the thing that stood out to me about his story is that the world at that time, 1632, believed that the Earth was the center of the solar system. Now, Galileo realized, through the work of a few key researchers and scientists, that this entire paradigm was false, and that in fact the sun was the center of the solar system, and the Earth rotated around it. So he stood and he said no, and he created a tipping point for the scientific revolution and for the entire world. 381 years later, 2017, the world would have been a very different place today if Galileo hadn't questioned the paradigms of that time. And I believe that we are in a very similar situation right now. We have had an explosion of modern disease through cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, that things aren't getting better. Now, I personally believe that every single human being has the means and ability to develop incredible health, and through this transform the world that we see today. Here's why. In 2013, I was hospitalized for having typhoid and immediate dysentery at the exact same time. And for 2 years after, I dealt with health issues ranging from having the testosterone levels of a 70-year-old man to insomnia so bad I'd be falling asleep at 5 a.m. and waking up at 3 in the afternoon. And this was combined with almost an entire year off school where I had crippling nausea and stomach cramps every single day. Now, it set me on a journey to discover what was making me sick. I went through the standard medical industry, going to tens of doctors and visiting naturopaths, acupuncturists, Ayurvedic practitioners, and no one could give me an answer to the degree of, well, returning me to health, until I decided to go on the internet and spent thousands of hours over 2 years researching, and I actually found a few key scientific breakthroughs that haven't been integrated yet into the medical industry, and decided to integrate them on myself. Sunlight is critical to all life on Earth. Avoiding sunlight destroyed my health. And when I returned to sunlight, many of the issues that I faced seemed to disappear. Now, I realized that sunlight is the basic element that all life springs from, all life is dependent on, and all life is evolved with. And I realized that if we want to overcome our modern disease epidemic, it might be a good idea to start changing our relationship to sunlight. When sunlight hits our skin, a natural production of vitamin D emerges. Vitamin D is a hormone that plays a pivotal role in the health of our entire being. It lowers inflammation, it reduces the risks of numerous kinds of cancer and heart disease. When sunlight hits our eyes, we start producing dopamine and cortisol, and we set our daily circadian rhythms, which are the 24-hour clocks that run all of our organs and systems. Now, plants are designed to survive entirely on energy from sunlight alone. And this makes sunlight-based energy source of all the food that we have on Earth. But over time, as life became more complex, we evolved to use additional energy in the form of food. But this was as an addition, not as a replacement to direct sunlight energy. Now, historically, humans spent the majority of their time outside until the inventions of artificial lighting emerged within simply the past 200 years. And in that time, we've cured the main killers of history, being the communicable diseases such as tuberculosis and dysentery. But in that time, we've started developing issues and diseases in which our body is unable to carry out its most complex functions, as we see in heart disease and cancer. Now, some people believe that this is from an extended lifespan, but the idea that it's from an extended lifespan can't address the difference between someone who lives to 80 or 90 healthily, and the majority of the population who succumb to these diseases only in their 50s or 60s. And it also doesn't address the huge exponential growth of modern disease in young people, as we see in depression and obesity in the young population of our planet. Now, because of this, certain researchers and scientists have started understanding and realizing that this might have been caused by some kind of widespread environmental change. Not coincidentally, the most significant widespread environmental change has been the replacement of full-spectrum sunlight with artificial light, which has completely different frequencies and is much more dominant in blue spectrum, and it's what's shining on me right now. So, scientists at the University of Washington, to start to understand this, scientists at the University of Washington have now found that the water in our cells are able to trap and store light energy and release it by using something called an exclusion zone. These are created by infrared light's interaction with water in our cells, and they're found in literally every single cell of our body. Now, everyone's probably heard of mitochondria. Most people who've taken high school biology know about mitochondria, and we like to think of it as the powerhouse of the cell. But I'd like to draw another comparison in that they are actually tiny electromagnetic generators, because they generate these electromagnetic frequencies that we can test with an EEG machine up to 3 meters away from our body. The two organs that have the most of these tiny electromagnetic generators are the brain and the heart. And this directly links with two of the biggest issues that we're facing as a society, which is Alzheimer's disease and heart disease. Now, mitochondria are actually designed to obtain a lot of their energy from full spectrum sunlight. But seeing as we've replaced this with blue dominant light, especially at night, it causes alterations in the way that mitochondria can make energy through changing the size and shape of mitochondria. So as I would lay in bed for all hours of the night because of my insomnia, I would be swiping through my blue lit Kindle, and what I didn't realize was that the signal that my Kindle was giving my brain was daytime. It was telling my brain it was a daytime signal, and that we should be releasing daytime chemicals and blocking the nighttime chemical melatonin, the nighttime hormone that allows all of us to sleep. So when I finally linked my insomnia to the blue light, and I started, for example, wearing some blue walking glasses that some of you might have seen me wear, I could totally change my sleep cycles. And this is one of the biggest keys for me. Now, artificial light is now present all throughout our world, and it's constantly telling our brain that it's daytime, even at nighttime. And this, we've found now, a guy called Doug Wallace, who's been studying mitochondria for over 40 years at the University of Philadelphia. He has found out that these alterations in size and shape of mitochondria actually link to our modern disease epidemic. So in other words, a replacement of artificial light, of sunlight with artificial light, is causing our body to lack the right amount of energy that we need. And this causes our organs to alter, fail, and de-evolve to match the energy sources that they have. In the words of an extraordinary neurosurgeon, Dr. Jack Kruse, when spectral density of light drops, the evolutionary brakes are applied, and complexity and diversity drop with it. Okay, so something a little lighter. Who here's worn sunglasses? Who here's put sunglasses on little kids and found it kind of fun? The problem with wearing sunglasses is that anytime we block the light between us and the sun at daytime, we're lowering the energy in our system. So you might start thinking, well, if I go out in the sun, I'm going to get sunburn and it's going to give me skin cancer. And despite this being the standard message of the medical industry, it's not supported by the evidence. Hundreds of studies have now shown that not having enough vitamin D links to numerous kinds of disease generation, from heart disease to obesity to cancer. And with our increasingly indoor-based lifestyles, plus our huge use of sunblock, we now have historic lows in vitamin D levels. And with this, melanoma rates have increased 15 times in the past 40 years alone. Clearly, sun is not the prime cause of skin cancer. A 2013 study showed that For every single skin cancer death, 60 to 100 people die from heart disease or stroke. This means that your risk of dying from your risk of dying from heart disease or stroke is 60 to 100 times your risk of dying from skin cancer. Think about those numbers the next time someone tells you that hiding from the sun is a good idea. Heart disease and stroke are halved in individuals that have high sun exposure. Now, if you wish to believe that sunlight is toxic and causes skin cancer, no one is stopping you. Just be aware that your physical functions will alter to match the energy sources that your body has. Now, this is the thing that really allowed me to come back to health and to move back to Bali and to come back into life after 2 years of darkness. And I'm so grateful for that. And that's on. That was kind of impromptu. Still really good to listen there. If you want to try this out, here's what you can do. Whenever you wake up, go out into the sun and set your daily circadian rhythms by letting your brain release cortisol at the right time instead of making it work against you. For the vitamin D and sun energy benefit, you can go out into the sun and expose as much of your skin as you can between 9 and 11 a.m. Those are the optimum times. And start out with 10 minutes and slowly increase. And this will actually reduce your chances of getting sunburned. The next step could be putting on some blue blockers. And with this, you can raise melatonin and improve your sleep cycles, or do what I did and fill your entire house with red LED bulbs, much to my parents' initial horror. Now, there were many other things that I did with my health and lifestyle, but the most fundamental was this. One of those other things was freezing myself in buckets of ice to shrink my mitochondria. But now this might be sounding like peanut butter to some of you. But if I could have everyone walk out of the room today remembering just one simple thing. You are a walking miracle. And the next time you go out into the sun, you might just be transforming your future. Thank you.